Hello, this is the trade site Forex market preview and economic data roadmap for the week beginning Sunday the 7th and ending Friday the 12th of January 2018. Welcome to the new year. Here's a look at the dollar index. It's the daily chart of the US dollar. An inverted cup and handle at lows does not look good if we crack that 91 area for the dollar, of course. Let's go through the major pairs. Then we'll look at the intra-week action in 30-minute candles. Then we'll talk about what's coming out in the week ahead and get a roadmap. Keep in mind we've got a pretty big storm hitting the East Coast right now. I'm not sure when it's supposed to dissipate, but this could have an impact on people getting into work and might slow the market down a bit. Here's the euro dollar, just the inverse of the dollar index, of course, for the most part these days. That 13 sell signal back in September was the high, and we've made a cup ever since. Again, a cup, maybe a cup and handle could form out, and then look out. Pound dollar. There's a cup and handle here. For sure, if it breaks out to new highs, that could be a big move against the dollar. The euro yen, completely boring. Aussie dollar. Look at that 13 buy signal right there. 13 buy signal. Absolutely nailed it in December on the Aussie dollar. Pound yen. Another cup and handle just like the pound dollar. Pound Swiss. Fairly flat, hasn't done much, and the New Zealand dollar has been on the rise a little bit. All right, let's look at the major indices in the intra-week action. So here's 30-minute candles on the euro dollar. Now remember, Monday was a holiday for New Year, so this is actually just 4 days where those triple lines start. That's the beginning of the week. So for the whole week, we were only actually in an 80 pip range on the euro dollar. It was not very exciting. Pound dollar, on the other hand, for the week, only about 100 pip range. So this was not the best start to the year. We had a couple winners, a couple losers, but overall, not enough range to really get much out of it. Euro yen for the week, a little more action, perhaps. Aussie dollar, almost dead, 70 pips for the whole week. It was all like that. There's no point in going through and looking at all these things. It was just very narrow first week of the year, 4 days, with the storm back east and everything else. So let's focus on what's coming, because obviously we've been in a good Forex trading market for the last few months. So I have no reason to worry about it yet. It's not the time of year where Forex typically slows down. I think it's just been a slow start to the year. So in terms of economic data coming out this week, we've got the AIG Construction Index from Australia. Bank holiday for Japan, first day of the week, so the yen stuff will be flat. German factory orders at 2 a.m. Monday morning, Eastern Time. Swiss CPI. UK's got the Halifax HPI, Euro, Centix investor confidence and retail sales. FOMC media members speaking. Consumer credit at 3 p.m. Average cash earnings at 7 p.m. Eastern Time out of Japan. BRC retail sales out of the UK. Building approvals out of Australia. Japan consumer confidence. Swiss unemployment rate. German industrial production and trade balance at 2 a.m. on Tuesday. French trade balance. Foreign currency reserves out of Switzerland. Retail sales out of Switzerland. Italian monthly unemployment rate out of Europe. Broad unemployment rate out of Europe also at 5 a.m. on Tuesday. That's a big number. UK, the 10-year bond auction. We've got the NFIB Small Business Index out of the U.S. Canada's housing starts. U.S. JOLTS job openings. And the IBD tip economic optimism number. China's CPI and PPI at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday. Japan's 10-year bond auction. Europe French industrial production. China's foreign direct investment and M2 supply along with new loans. Manufacturing production and the goods trade balance, construction output, industrial production, all out of the UK at 4:30 a.m. Wednesday morning. That's Eastern Time. German 10-year bond auction. We've got building permits out of Canada, import prices out of the U.S., final wholesale inventories, crude oil inventories here in the U.S., 10-year bond auction in the U.S. at 1:01 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. Australia has their retail sales number that night. Japan goes to their leading indicators. Europe's Italian retail sales, UK's Bank of England credit condition survey, industrial production out of Europe, ECB monetary policy meeting and accounts. Canada's got their NHPI, and then the US has PPI, unemployment claims, natty gas, it's the weekly number. 30-year bond auction, federal budget balance, FOMC member Dudley speaks, New Zealand's building consents, bank lending at 6:50 p.m. along with current account, China's trade balance number, Economy Watchers sentiment out of Japan going into Friday. French final CPI, industrial production out of Italy. U.S. CPI. Now, we've already had two of our big numbers. We had trade balance and unemployment back on Friday. Those were two of the big three each month. CPI is the 3rd. That comes on Friday. So that along with retail sales. So we've already got our big 3 out of the way for January, and we don't have a Fed meeting for a while. So it's just pure trading, except for Thursday night going into Friday will be half size. And that's about it. That is the week ahead. Now, keep in mind, the other thing that you need to know is that even though we just came off of Christmas and New Year's, we have Martin Luther King next weekend, which means on Monday, next Monday, the 15th, banks are closed, stock market's closed, everything. So we've got a 3-day weekend ahead again, and we won't have anything after this. So we've got a full week here. We'll see if the storm affects us and go from there. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great trading Forex week.